Hello friends, how are you doing? Welcome back to Verified So yesterday we had a video that was random, and in that video we discussed things regarding the diversity visa lottery 2025 results, and we saw there were remaining 63 days, and now there are just 62 days remaining. And now, in connection to that, in today's video we want to discuss the mistakes or the errors that you might have done either knowingly or without knowing, but these mistakes and errors will not prevent you from getting selected. They will not prevent you from getting selected. But some of them, even if you get selected, will deny you the diversity visa in the end. So some of them will not deny you the visa, but some of them you will get denied the visa. So I'll start with those which will not cost you the visa and proceed to those that will cost you your visa. So you need to watch this video to the end so that you may know if you did the mistakes that they can be corrected. How can you correct them on the DS260 form if you get selected? But remember, for those that will deny you the visa eventually, you cannot correct them. So stick around and watch to the end. So the first kind of mistakes that people did and will never affect the selection chances is having mistakes on your name. Maybe when filling the application in the DV Lottery 2025, you omitted some letters in your name, or maybe you changed some letters in your name. That will not affect your selection. In any case, they don't have your name. They don't know you. They just believe in the name that you've given, you provided, because that is what they'll take you as. So even if you're called John, that is Jon, but on the application you filled JOHN, that is not a factor that will deny you selection. You will get selected with that error, but when filling the DS260 form, you need to rectify it. You need to correct it. Also, you might have exchanged your names. Maybe the surname is not the name that you're supposed to use. The last name, you used it on the surname, and the surname on the last name. That is the family name. If you did that, that will not also affect you. Now, the second error that will not affect your chances is using the incorrect address location, the current address. If the current address that you filled in the application was not the correct address, that mistake will not deny you chances of getting selected. Not at all. What you'll have to do, you might get selected with that error, but on the DS260 form, you can correct that one. The current address, you can always correct it on the form DS260. So you should not get worried if you used the wrong current address location. The other one is errors when entering your birth dates. Yes, if you were born maybe on 7th of January and by mistake you selected 8th of January, that will not affect your selection. In any case, they don't know when you're born. They don't have a document like a birth certificate to counter check, because we don't submit any document in the application. So whatever date you will provide, that will be taken as the correct date of your birth. So if you mistakenly selected your date of birth that will not deny you selection chances. No, that will not affect at all. What you'll have to do is you need to correct it and put the correct birth date when filling the DS260 form if you get selected. So that is not a mistake that should worry you in this selection process. The other mistake that will not affect you is by selecting the wrong city of birth. And I know the city of birth brought a lot of confusion to many people, and we discussed this in several videos and I clarified on this issue. So if by any chance you selected the wrong city of birth and you are worried that you might not get selected, that should not be a worry anymore. Even with the wrong city of birth, you will get selected, or you may get selected if you are lucky. And just as the previous mistakes, you need to correct the city of birth when filling the DS260 form if you become successful. And the other one is if you selected the wrong education level. So if you selected the wrong education level, that will not affect you in the selection. You will get selected with that mistake. Let me come to another major mistake that will not affect you in the selection process, but later on they will affect you. So in the selection, they will not affect you. You may get selected with these mistakes that I'm about to discuss, but later on in the process they will be detrimental. And one of these is providing false information. Let's say, for example, you selected the country of birth as country A, and in real sense you were not born in that country. And let's say you did that because your country was not eligible, so you wanted to use some other countries. You wanted to lie about your country of birth so that you can become eligible, and therefore you went on and you filled. With that, you'll get selected, but you will not get through. Lying about your country of birth, that is fraud. You will not get through the process. You will be selected, yes, but through the process, no, you won't make it. The other one is country of eligibility. Which country of eligibility did you choose? If you lied about the country of eligibility, the eligibility country, you will get selected, yes, but you will not succeed in the whole process. You will be denied your visa because you will have committed fraud. And remember, fraud leads to permanent disqualification. The other thing is providing wrong information regarding the derivative issue. Let's say, for example, you are married, but due to some reasons, some very awkward reasons, you decide that you want to go alone to the US, and therefore you want to feel as single and leave your spouse out. That is a very grievous mistake. You are married, then you apply as single. That will deny you your visa. Yes, you'll get selected, but it will not go successful. And I told you of a story of someone who had applied several times as a family man, and that's to mean he included all the derivatives. But later on, he decided, maybe I'm not selected because I'm feeling as a family. He thought so. And therefore, in that year, he decided, I'll put my family aside and apply as single. And that year, he was selected. but he applied as single. And he continued with the process and was called for the interview. But during the interview, he was denied the visa simply because he had left out his family. What a sad story. So, omitting your derivatives will not affect you getting selected, yes, but getting the visa, you won't get it. Same case applies to the kids. Lying about the number of kids. Maybe you have one kid, but you decided to put 3 because you have your nephews and nieces. So you want to include them. That will deny you your visa outrightly. Yes, you'll get selected, but you will get denied your visa because nieces and nephews, they are not part of your derivatives. So you see, some of the errors will not affect you, and that means you should not get worried. They can easily be corrected when filling the DS260 form, whereas there are others that will completely affect you. And if you have these errors that will affect you, I would advise you there will be no need for you to proceed with the DV process because you will use your money, your finances, but in the end, you will lose it all. So thank you guys. Please consider subscribing if you have not, and also like the video. Push the bell on so you get notified whenever I post a video. And let's meet in the next video.